On the hill above Tintern Abbey are the ruins of St Mary's Church, where in the 12th century monks would have worshipped during the Abbey's construction. Well, here I am in Tintern. The Abbey is just down there. We'll be exploring that later. But right now I'm going up to the famous, or maybe infamous, The Mystery of St Mary's Church, Tintern. Yeah, you can just see the Abbey down there. So I'm walking up a steep path here to St Mary's Church. Some say the most haunted in Wales. Well, I'll have a little story about this church because I was last here 47 years ago. My wife and I walked up here with our baby son, well, baby toddler, he was about 16 months I think, to this church because we saw it way down from Tintern Abbey and thought that looks interesting, let's go and explore. Wow, fab views here. And there it is. Yeah, it's as much as I remember it, except it had its rafters on. That was because we were here just after the fire that destroyed it. I bet this gate creaks. Blimey, the first non-squeaking gate I've come across. Wow. A weathered signboard shows how the church once looked, inside and out. Yeah, we'll take a look at some of these tombstones later. There's a couple of very grand ones over there. Sarcophagus and, well, it looks like a pyramid. So when we were here last, 47 years ago, my wife and I were here, as I said earlier, with our son, who was a toddler. I was carrying him on my back. But now this church was built back in the 12th century, the original church. Looks nothing like this one does now. And then it was rebuilt in 1866. Then it was closed in 1972. And in 1977, mysteriously it burnt down. As you'll see with the original pictures I took here, there were signs above saying unsafe building, because it still had the rafters on and everything, which were very charred, obviously. And we hadn't been here very long. Karen suddenly felt very, well, she had a sort of feeling of foreboding maybe. She just felt uncomfortable, didn't like it. She said, I don't like it here, I just want to go, I want to go. So I said, okay, and I'd snapped a few pictures first, fortunately. So off we went. We left it and went back and going where I'm going to be going in a few minutes, Tintern Abbey. And boy, do I need a coffee. I've had about a 2.5 hour drive to get here this morning. It's a beautiful day. And being as we're now in Wales, on this side of the River Wye, when I cross over that bridge down there later, we'll be in England again. When I trek up to the Devil's Pulpit, looking forward to that. But there's a little bit more to the story here. I used to read Amateur Photographer magazine way before I became professional, way back in, well, 1988. And in an issue in the late 70s, I think, somebody had published a picture taken exactly where I'm stood now, at the front of the church. He couldn't explain what this object or apparition or something was in the corner of the picture. Definitely wasn't there when he took the shot. So that's spooky, isn't it? I may have one or two old ancient copies now of Amateur Photographer, but I don't know, and I can't find it. And but it is interesting, there is something about this place. So yeah, I have a very open mind about these things, and yeah.
All those years ago, how I felt up here is hard to explain, but I remember clearly that feeling of not wanting to be there.
Okay, let's take a look inside. staircase there. That's the bell tower, I guess. All taken down, all burnt down. Now with this door creak. Yep, that was me. Wow. Not sure what that is, but the tiles on the floor are still visible in places. I walk the aisle towards the altar. Miss me. Nature's really taken over here now, that's for sure. Stating the rather obvious. Yeah. How it must have looked is really hard to imagine now. And I guess this was the vestry. There's a bit of fireplace down there. In my 33 years of shooting weddings, I've been in hundreds of churches, but nothing quite like this. Some steps down into a cellar or something. And it must be quite sad for couples who were once wed here, I guess. Yes, watch out here, as vegetation hides a sheer drop into the cellar. It is somewhat hazardous here. Steps going down. Whoa, blimey. Mozzies? No, not mozzies, but some larger flying insects. It's certainly a very shallow space, so let's get out of here. And boggy too. Somewhat boggy round here. The headstone of a World War I soldier. Periodically, a group of locals come up here to do battle with the relentless undergrowth. I'm not sure I can get down to those tombs. The pyramid, sarcophagus, and another large headstone, tombstone. But the views here are magnificent. Oh well, it couldn't be more peaceful and tranquil here, really. Well, this is where the wealthy landowners, or in actual fact, down in the valley, where they call the wire works. The Industrial Revolution started down there apparently. They reckon even ahead of Iron Bridge. I would assume well, they're relatively wealthy owners. Iron and wire making started here near Tintern as early as the 16th century. On this sarcophagus tomb, a metal plaque has replaced the weather-worn stone inscription, and briefly it says that Richard White died in 1765 and was a very revered man. He ran the wireworks for 30 years until his death. As we approach the imposing pyramid tomb, Robert Thompson is thought to be interned there, another wireworks owner. This one's huge. I do find it fascinating to read, and in particular the very old tombstone inscriptions, if they're not completely eroded. This is the wine cooler tomb of yet another iron master. Now you wouldn't catch me up here at night, not on my own. No way. Ah, all seems very peaceful here. However, whilst in Tintern, I spoke to a local about St Mary's, who told me that sadly 2 lads had lost their lives in a fire that was accidentally started with the likelihood of a fallen candle. And this happened in July 1977, just a month before we came up here. And just about everything else regarding devil worship, ghosts and strange happenings is just nonsense. Having said that, another person I spoke to thought there was something mysterious and unsettling up here. And as I said earlier, how my wife felt being up here so soon after this tragic event, and that photo of an apparent apparition remains unexplained. Time to go. Go back to the car, because the car park doesn't open till 9. Oh, it's 6 minutes past 9 now, so I'll stop waffling, go back down, and we'll go into Tintern Abbey for a coffee first. I bet this gate creaks. Oh yes, you can't beat a creaking gate. Yeah, a creepy church. Which doesn't look at all creepy today. Well, I certainly didn't pick up any bad vibes whilst up here, thankfully. Lush cakes. Love them.